Yo.
What's going on?
Yeah.
4G Audio Podcast.
You already know what it is.
I'm Styles the Prophet.
B Show.
And Ben Jones making it all happen behind the
Magic
scenes.
Man.
What's up?
Motherfucker. And
Welcome,
today,
everybody.
yeah, welcome. Thanks for coming. Thanks for letting us
Yes.
come over or whatever is happening right now. But today we actually have two firsts.
We have two firsts.
Yeah. We have a
It's a big
female
day.
artist, and she's not a hip-hop artist. This is Kanaska. Am I pronouncing it right?
Oh, I gotta hook that up.
Yeah, it's Kanaska.
Sorry.
Sorry, I was drinking beer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we can do whatever. What's that?
There's
Wait.
a peach.
Oh, it's free. I thought that was coming up on the screen.
I'm
No,
allowed to wear
yeah.
sunglasses.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You can do
Yeah.
whatever you want here.
That
Yeah,
is
you're
happening
free to
get
today.
them.
Oh, yeah.
Free to do what you want
Sorry.
here.
I just don't know where I put them. I'll get them later.
Be you. But yeah, so how's it
Yeah,
going? Thanks
so-
for coming out.
For people who don't
Thanks for
know,
having me.
Kanaska makes music. She's a very good guitar player and singer. Also, too, she hosts a radio show, The Whitching Hour?
Yeah, the Witching
Yeah.
Hours
Hours.
on
Okay.
CKCU.
And is
Awesome.
it's 2 to 7?
Yeah, 2
Right.
a.m. till 7 a.m.
Yeah,
Late
okay.
Mondays. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's wild.
Fun
See,
time.
I was actually gonna ask, like, do you sit in the studio 2
I
till
do.
7?
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, but okay. I heard on the way over you were saying to Ben, like, you could do it.
I can pre-record
Okay, yeah.
sometimes, but I,
I
stay
thought
anyway.
I thought you were saying it always was, but yeah. Okay.
No, I'm usually there. They want someone there, like, overnights and stuff,
Mhm.
you know? So, Yeah.
So what's the show all about?
the paranormal.
Oh, no, wait, where?
So anything
Cool.
from, like, the mysteries of the universe to haunted houses
Awesome.
to
Oh, cool.
aliens, extraterrestrial life, politics, human, animal, environmental
You
rights.
should get Trip on.
Yeah,
Trip
you
would
guys
be
would
good
make
guest.
a good combo.
He's
Yeah.
into that kind of stuff.
Yeah. We had him on last week, and we tried
Yeah.
we tried to delve into that kind of shit, but
Hmm.
yeah.
We weren't up to date, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
he
the
was
Bob
mad.
was there.
No.
Yeah, he was pissed that you guys didn't watch that shit.
Yeah.
No, I was
Sorry,
talking about-
Trip.
I was talking about Bob Lazar on the show before that documentary even came out.
Oh yeah.
You know, because like that's what we talk about on the show all the time.
Yeah.
Just having to constantly research different mysteries of the universe.
Yeah.
You know.
So many out there.
I watched
Yeah.
or I listened to one on YouTube with Jay Havoc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been watching him too, or like we've seen him
Got an
around
eye
too.
on him.
Yeah. He's on my. I had him on my show June 4th.
Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
Okay.
Is there anywhere we could go to listen to
Yeah.
these shows?
I see it on YouTube.
Yeah. On YouTube, Kanaska Carter is my YouTube channel, and then just go to ckcufm.com
Yeah.
and then go to the programs and look for the Witching Hours. It's at the
Okay.
last show on Monday night.
Cool.
I always get them mixed up. Which one's CKCU? That's 93.1?
93.1 FM.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always get the two mixed up.
Yeah.
Like the names, anyways.
Yeah. CHUO and
CHU.
CKCU.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
when I
Mhm.
get that. That happens.
I know that CKCU is Carlton, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Carlton
I know
University.
that much, but I never know the
That's where I
the
did my
numbers.
first show was CHUO.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
That
noticed-
was years ago.
I noticed too. I didn't end up watching any of them, but I noticed you have a couple of videos that are like it says concerts or something or whatever. Like, are you like doing a live set kind of thing?
Yeah, like I do have some shows that are coming up, but like sometimes what I do on YouTube is just like me playing music or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll
That's-
just film myself.
I think that's sick too, because I like one of my buddies is big into Twitch, and he
Okay.
he's like a big gamer and shit.
Mhm.
But he was showing me that like some people go on and they'll have like a little, like they'll just be like DJing and they'll have like lights and stuff. There's like no one in the room, but they're just sitting there like doing a set. So you can
Mhm.
just like turn it on and sit and watch them or listen to their music or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so,
lot of
so I
people
actually
go
think
live.
that's like, yeah, I think that's like a cool idea, right? 'Cause You
Mhm.
could like just do a set and like record it like that.
Yeah,
So
that's
like I
cool.
said, I didn't end up watching them, but I saw them. I was going through some of the videos, and I figured that's what it was. But
Yeah, a lot of live streaming now on YouTube.
yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's becoming very big. We
Yeah.
tried.
we're
Had
trying to,
audio issues.
yeah, we're trying to
Oh,
get,
no.
it,
We'll
it
get back
going,
in
yeah.
it.
We'll definitely get back into that
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'll find a
do it.
way.
Yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
That's right.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's right.
So you guys been doing this
Nothing.
show for how long now?
Since February.
End
Yeah,
of February.
February.
It's like the end of February.
Yeah.
I think it was like the
so-
last week of February.
good few
Nice.
months now, and it's been an experience for sure. We've connected with so many people. Shout out to everyone. We love you all.
Yeah,
You all
already
know who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a good ride
Yeah, man.
so
Cool,
far.
man.
So far, yeah,
Sure.
met a lot of cool people and
Yeah.
just been making a name for ourselves and shit. It's pretty
Yeah.
good.
For
That's awesome.
sure. Got to do our first show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, these guys
What do you mean
performed
by
at,
your first show? Like,
We got asked to
Bourbon
perform
Room.
at the Bourbon Room,
Okay.
opening for Mr. Jones.
so you rap as well?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you do too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got Styles on
Wait,
stage.
You
Yeah,
rap
the-
too?
I do.
I
I
already knew that.
I rap
Okay,
a little
cool.
bit.
Yeah, it was an experience.
That's
How
cool.
long have you been doing the music thing?
Since I was 13,
Yeah.
I started playing trumpet.
Go away,
That's
yeah.
what started it all.
Yeah, and then
The
that
trumpet.
well,
in
that's
school
good for
or
your
just on your
vocals.
own?
in school.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
first trumpet in the geeky band.
Yeah.
in school,
That's
yeah.
how it happened.
Yeah,
Cool.
and then eventually just I was in bands, but I didn't like the music, so I just stopped showing up for band practice.
Yeah.
And then got kicked out of the band, and then I started learning guitar, and then wrote my own music.
Bro, you did your own
Mhm.
thing. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, man.
It is.
So you guys had Kenny King Kong here.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Episode 18.
Okay.
I want to
I
say.
don't know. These are all fogging up.
You're probably right.
I think I'm right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. He's,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Shout out Kenny. On his tour right now.
Yeah, I think he's in Kingston or something.
Oh no.
or he just left there.
Yeah.
Windsor,
Came back
he's
here,
going
and then
to
he's off to
Windsor.
Toronto, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Stay hungry.
Yeah. Gang.
Oh yeah. So are you working on any new projects? You're a songwriter.
Yeah, music videos.
Music videos is what
yeah.
you're focusing on.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
2 new music videos, and then been writing 2 books as well
Oh.
that I'm about to publish. One's a vampire horror novel, and the other is a comedy self-help book. So it's just
Cool.
like,
Nice.
Comedy,
You know.
self-help.
Yeah, that's cool. That's actually, yeah.
yeah.
Like total opposite ends of the spectrum, pretty much. That's
Yeah,
cool.
true.
I
Yeah.
just love writing in
Yeah, that's
general,
awesome.
whether it's music, books. You know, if you can connect with people, I think is the main point of art and
Yeah.
creating.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I used to write like little stories and shit whenever I was a kid.
Short
Just for
stories.
fun and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've written a few too.
Yeah.
Back
I
in
think
my
I
day.
think I got one of my stories like fucking put into the fair and shit.
Nice.
That's cool. That's big.
Yeah.
What kind of book did you write, Ben?
Oh, it was just like again short stories. That I
Yeah,
wrote,
yeah.
Like, just
Okay.
like cool ideas, concepts. I can't even remember them now. I'm sure if my mom was here, she'd be like, "Oh, I remember it."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, yeah, I
Is
can.
that a flat Earth model in front of me?
No,
I-
Cool that
no,
you
it's
pointed
not.
that out, though, 'cause
It's
no
not.
one's,
What is that?
It's an organite.
Oh, Oregon.
it's-
Okay.
Yeah.
It
where
looks
it's-
like a flat Earth from here. Yeah, I make that sometimes. I haven't done it in a bit.
Are you down with the flat Earth theory?
Down with the Oregon. I don't know
Yeah.
about flat Earth. It's been proven wrong.
Of
so
course.
so many
Absolutely, it's
things.
been proven
I actually had a
wrong.
flat earther on my radio show this year.
I've been waiting to meet one.
Hey man,
He's a cool guy,
Yeah,
but
I probably have crazy ideas that I
Everyone's got
think
their own
are
ideas.
true
of
that
course.
aren't, but at the same time too, like my instant argument on whether it's flat or not is, man, like have you ever seen it from space? It's clearly round, but how do we know that those pictures are actually in space? And like, you know what I mean? All this
That's what
shit.
they
So
always
I,
say.
I personally don't know myself
Yeah.
100% that it isn't, but at the same time too, like I think a lot of people before me like
It's been
figured it out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's like, yep,
Yeah.
you know.
There's even ways to tell, like even just from like a shadow from a tree and what angle. I think
Mhm.
there's math and like ways to
the
do
shadow
it,
on
and,
the
like,
moon
But
as
see-
well.
Yeah, like-
Yeah.
I don't want to get too much into it, but I actually like have this idea that like a lot of the like science stuff that we're told, like what if it's not even true? You know what I mean? They're like
It's
this
hollow, dude.
this scientist says it, and like how do I know that that's even a scientist? You know, or like whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Like so we don't
That's
even
like a deep,
know
a
that
deep
these
level of
things
skepticism. Though.
are
But
like
I mean,
real, and I don't like fully. I just play with these ideas, but I'm like, well, what if what they just said isn't even true? Like you know.
What if they're
Yeah.
paid actors?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is a real scientist. Are you a scientist? Like, yes.
Yeah. Of course I am.
Yeah,
Tell them what I
right.
told you to say.
Yeah.
that's so funny. They were talking about on the Joe Rogan podcast the other day about how like the old commercials and like doctors were like selling cigarettes, being like the number one suggested cigarette brand by
Mhm.
doctors and shit. You know what I mean? It's
Just
like,
to sell a product.
just like straight up lying to sell
they
something.
Well, it's
still
like-
do that.
That's crazy.
Even
Oh,
somebody said to
yeah.
me one day, they said, like, so, like, dentists are, like, the only people that make money off you, right? Like, well, I shouldn't say the only people, but, like, in the, like, health world and stuff, it's all, like, covered, really. But the dentists always make money off you.
and that
and
shit's not.
So they
cheap.
say,
No, it's not.
like, oh, like, use this toothpaste. 9 out of 10 dentists recommend it. but they make money off of your teeth being bad.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like,
Mm-hmm. They're
You know what I
recommending it,
mean?
so you'll go see them.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, like,
Oh my
stuff
god,
that
my
rots
life
your
is a
teeth
lie.
away. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything's
yeah.
a lie.
So do you guys think the Earth is hollow?
Maybe.
Come on,
Hollow?
man.
No.
I kind of.
Totally true.
Yeah, I kind
I
of.
think,
I
like,
don't
we're-
actually think I've ever heard anything about the Earth.
I think
being
where the
hollow,
lava
though.
is, it's
dude,
like
the hollow
hollow without
thing.
the lava.
Or
I'm-
there's at least portals around the world, like the Bermuda's Triangle, the Dragon's
Oh, I know
Triangle.
the portal thing.
There's so many different triangles. Even in California, they have one. There's one in the Great Lakes as well, where
The
ships
Green
go
Remember what I
missing.
said about California?
Really?
The,
Go
the,
missing.
the super beings?
Yeah. Totally.
Right off the shore of California is a city that fucking disappeared, the same as Atlantis. And that's like one of those portal things.
Yeah.
Huh.
Shout out last episode.
Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah, no, I brought up the Bermuda Triangle last episode too, and
I'd go.
Man,
someone
see
told
where
me-
it takes me.
Someone told me that they know this girl from like Deep River or something. She's like a medium or whatever they're called.
yeah.
And she does like readings and shit.
Yeah.
But she said that she has like some kind of TV show or maybe it's like an internet show or whatever. I have no name of either her or the show, but anyways, this girl was telling me about all these portals and stuff. She said that there's portals. So you guys know the Buck Hill thing?
Yes, I've been there.
So yeah, me too. So apparently that's a portal, and that the person that's there and all that like hype and stuff isn't real. It's actually like something like trying to get people to come there
yeah.
kind of thing. And so she's telling me that's a portal. And then she said there's all these portals down Southern Ontario and stuff. And you can go there and like somehow you will like go into another universe or whatever.
Crazy.
And that she was saying that no matter what, like whenever you come back, you're always risking that something's going to come back with you. And that there's
like
good
some
portals
Stranger
and bad
Things shit.
portals. But I was like, man, I will go for the sake of like finding out what's going on. Like if you
Yeah.
can get whatever it is off of me, then let's go. Like I'm
Yeah.
going, you know?
Yeah, I think that the Bermuda Triangle and the Dragon's Triangle, I think it's escape zones from the Hollow Earth. So like alien ships have been seen coming out of the ocean.
Yeah, dude.
Bill
I
Cooper got
yeah.
I
assassinated.
fucking said that shit on the
Got
last episode.
assassinated
Bill
for
Cooper?
coming out
Yeah,
about that.
William
I know
Cooper.
He was in the Navy and he saw a huge disc-shaped craft
Oh,
the size
yeah.
of a midway-sized aircraft carrier come up out of the ocean, flip on its axis, do spins in the air, come back down, and when it hit the water parted in front of it and went into the water, and any aircraft at that time would have disintegrated on impact. And he
Yeah,
ended up
word.
being assassinated for like speaking out
Coming
about
out
this
about
publicly. He had these like
He predicted
classified
9/11
documents.
too before that shit
Yes, he
happened.
did.
Word.
In
That's-
June
Like
2001.
Nostradamus.
Yeah, June 2001, he said how convenient it is that the top FBI and intelligence teams can't find Osama bin Laden, but an American journalist with a TV camera crew waltzes into his hideout and interviews him.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, eh?
Where's the?
But the
Yeah.
thing, this is the thing, there was a warrant put out for his arrest on September 11th, 2001, which was postponed till November 5th, 2001, when he was gunned down on his front porch by cops in plain clothes that lured him out of his house, posing as rowdy teenagers.
No way.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah,
What? That's
nuts.
entrapment.
yeah.
That's
At
super
its
entrapment.
finest, yeah. The
Yeah,
worst
apparently,
case
like
of
they
it.
shot him too, and he was still alive for quite a while. Like they didn't
Mhm,
call
for
like
14 hours.
any medical like assistance or anything for like. So he just like
No,
bled out
They
in
were
his own
trying to
fucking
find
driveway.
apparent bombs. They never find anything. They said he was a militia member. All he had was a hunting rifle with a scope, no AK-47. I interviewed his
Crazy.
best friend on my first radio show on CHUO 10 years ago.
What?
He was like a
told me
devout
everything that
Christian
happened.
too, right? So
That's
like he was
nuts.
like
He was a Christian, yeah. And he believed in aliens. He said there's 4 distinct races of aliens. But he was working for the intelligence in the military. He saw these documents.
That's crazy.
Heavy
Mhm.
shit.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. I read his book, Behold a Pale
Pale
Horse.
horse, yeah.
Yeah, that shit's
Oh, I've heard of that
fucking
too.
like that shit'll blow your mind,
William
man.
Cooper.
Yeah, Bill Cooper, William Cooper.
I need to read that.
I
Do
don't-
you have a copy of it?
I do somewhere, but I'm not sure where it is.
That's
Yeah.
like the poker Bible. I got it somewhere.
I'd have to go dig.
No, I
for
just
it.
had this conversation yesterday. I'm like, I have it somewhere. I'll give it to you.
Mm-hmm. I need to read that.
It's a
What?
good one. That shit'll blow your mind. It's been a while since I read it though, like a good 10 years probably.
Something you said made me think of this. I think it was because you said the Navy, anyways. But ever hear about the I think it's called the Philadelphia Project?
Yeah.
Or something like
Talked
that.
about that on my show.
Man, that's
With
fucked
the
up
boat,
shit. They
right?
made the boat. Yeah,
Yeah.
they made some kind of apparently you can make stuff teleport with some kind of
Mhm.
magnetic whatever. So they
Oh, and they,
made this
fuse to, the
magnetic
shit?
force
Yes.
or whatever. Yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
the ship fucking showed up in like Manhattan or something like that. And whenever they went there and like checked it out, people were like in the ship and like
Yeah.
like super in pain because they were like fused with the ship. So some of them would just be like legs sticking out, some of them be like bodies sticking out, like or
That's
like heads and
wild.
shit. So they're like, oh, like this sucks, you know.
Yeah.
And
This sucks.
yeah, well, I don't know what they were saying. I didn't, but you know,
Mhm.
but yeah, man, it was actually like, and whenever it happened, there was like this green fucking like, what they were trying to do. Sorry, I don't think they were trying to teleport it. They were trying to cloak it so no one could see them or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
So this like green like whatever went around them, like force field or whatever went around them,
Yeah.
and then they just appeared wherever. I don't know. I don't
That's
have a lot of the details
nuts.
actually, but yeah, it's
Mhm.
crazy, man.
I've heard conflicting stories, like they were embedded in the ship, and then there was some people that apparently that were embedded that were found alive later. So I don't know about the story completely, but it is interesting. I think they were trying to teleport and come back,
Yeah.
and then some of the crew members got embedded into the ship.
Oh,
'Cause
you-
what it
you know
does,
they're
like,
fucking with
'cause-
some crazy shit.
Because the
that's for
theory
sure.
with the teleporting thing is that it breaks down the fucking the like atoms or whatever, or
Yeah.
like breaks down whatever, like the matter or the whatever's
Yeah,
there, and then it puts it back together wherever. So the thing is they got all pulled apart and then they put back together inside the ship.
Hmm.
I mean, again, I wasn't there, but
I know of the
Sound-
story.
yeah.
That
That's crazy. I've never heard of that
Mhm.
before.
that
Yeah.
myth. I've heard that one. But yeah, that if it is true, that's some fucking
fucking
Mhm.
wild, man.
sci-fi shit.
What are they
right there.
hiding? What else are they hiding? Or like, you know,
Yeah.
like what else are they trying to do like that? That's like,
Oh, like I say,
So
man,
much.
you know they're doing some wild
Yeah, like
shit.
have you heard
Crazy
of
shit.
Skinwalker Ranch?
oh
That
my
rings a bell,
God.
Yeah, it
actually.
does.
I don't
ring
know.
a
I was gonna
bell.
say
I don't know
I was gonna say it sounds familiar, but I'm kind of scared of
But
it.
I know of Skywalker Ranch.
Yeah,
too,
true.
So, I
So
don't
this is
know.
like natives in I forget where, California. There's
Yeah.
this ranch, and it is believed to be like you can't go there. The natives won't go there because there's been lights reported, mutilation of cattle, like huge dogs, and like it doesn't look like an actual wolf. It's like pieces of rotting flesh will be left over. So what they think it's bad medicine, like natives pretending to be a certain animal, and they will kill an animal, wear the skin of it, and try to it's like this black magic.
Damn.
Huh.
hmm But there's also like poltergeist activity, things moving,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild,
Hmm.
man. I like ghost is one of those things like poltergeist and like shit like
Mhm.
that. Like I don't know, like stuff that's passed on and it can still like
It's a little bit scarier.
interact
scared.
with physical matter.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things that I believed as a kid, and then like the more I realize about like, and again, I'm not a fucking scientist or anything, but the more I understand about like physics and science, like
Mhm.
I'm like I don't understand how.
Energy though.
Yeah, it's
It's
energy.
just our souls.
But here's
yeah.
another thing too, though, is that they also believe that, like, it's okay. You know, people talk about like acid flashbacks.
Yeah.
So acid flashbacks aren't. People think that the acid like stays in your body and it comes out or whatever. It's because you can have a flashback from a traumatic event, whether like like a strong emotion. So it could even be like a good thing. Like you could have like a really good
Yeah.
strong emotion or whatever, or bad whatever. And then later you could have a flashback of it, and that's what like they say an acid flashback is.
Hmm.
And so now how that relates is that so like say like I'm just making this story up, but say like you hear a story or whatever, like you're watching some ghost show or whatever, and they're like, oh, this lady moved into this old like creepy farmhouse or whatever, and there's always this person standing in the window, and when she sees them, they turn around and they run towards her, but then they like disappear or whatever, right? Nothing ever happens, and it's just that same thing over and over again. Some people think that that's actually like a traumatic thing that's scarred into like the world or like into the like our realm or whatever.
Right.
So that what they're seeing, and again, I'm making this up, but
You mean an energetic imprint?
but yeah. So what they could be seeing is that
That's a smart way to put it.
say this, yeah, she's got it down.
Good one.
But say like just for instance, say that the people that used to live in this house in the 1800s or whatever, like Buddy used to beat his wife or something, and he's chilling looking at the window, and she said something to him, and he ran over and beat her or whatever. So then that's imprinted in the like timeline or whatever, right? So then now the lady buys the house and goes, and she always sees this thing happening,
That's like
and
the
like
grudge.
yeah,
almost. That
well,
would
and
be
so
the
they
grudge
think
a little bit.
it could be an imprint. What'd you call it?
It's like the energy is imprinted there. So energetic
yeah.
imprint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could also be like a timeline looping. Sometimes they'll repeat certain things, or sometimes it's the actual spirit doesn't want to leave the home.
Yeah, and they're going
Yeah.
through the motions of the same thing.
That's what I was gonna bring up.
Yeah.
They like if like a car crash or something.
Mm-hmm.
you know, the person didn't, like, they don't accept passing, so their energy lives on trying to, like, find
Yeah.
closure
I
or
hear
whatever.
so many stories like that.
Yeah.
It's usually from trauma, like murder.
Yeah, it's
or-
things that are abrupt.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
They don't know how they died.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But another thing too is with the energy imprint thing is like, I've thought of this idea that like, what if when we see ghosts, that like, hey, let's picture Back to the Future, or like any future or like past, like going into the past and shit. If you think that like all of these times are going on at the same time, you know what I mean? And then we're sitting here right now, and somebody like walks through the room, and you're like, what the fuck? Maybe they fucking live here, but they're living here in 1960 or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're
Isn't that like
They're
the string
or
theory or like something
their
like that?
realm
So,
is
like
crossing
all,
over.
Crossing.
all
Multidimensional
time. Yeah, it's like
theory.
all
Yeah,
time
yeah.
is happening at the same time. So like
Mhm.
every instant of your life is actually going on right now, and you're just your consciousness is like moving through it.
Through it.
You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? So you experience, and then like
well, and so whenever you see these things, they're crossing over into your like realm or whatever,
Yeah.
right? So you're not seeing a ghost; you're seeing them live their life right now. But and then they say they see you, and they're going to tell their like their realm friends, like or their time frame friends. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, I saw this dude and like his friends sitting in my basement or whatever, you know." And we're like, "Holy shit, this guy walked through the fucking basement or whatever." Like,
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
it's a glitch in the
but,
matrix.
but again, that's
Yeah.
like that's my own little like theory.
Yeah, yeah.
I have
I've
a
thought
lot of
about
theories
that
that I don't
before.
fully believe, but
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's cool to think about
or I
though,
can't
for
prove
sure.
it, I
But
guess.
yeah,
I've
it's
definitely thought about that, but most of the stories I hear on my show, they can track it back to someone getting murdered
Yeah.
or someone dying of like some weird illness in the house, or some sort of torture happened,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or demonic playing with like a Ouija board, or like
Oh man.
doing
Yeah.
sacrifices in the house. That's
Yeah.
when you see most of the like demonic possessions of homes.
Yeah.
But like spirits, like for instance on the show, there was these. I was watching the show the other day, and it was these two boys that were seen in the home. Turns out they murdered each other in the girl's room
Woo.
over a girl,
Woo.
and that's where she would see them, was in the room. So, but definitely, I think if we can see into the future and we can see into the past, obviously, it's just all in our mind, you know.
Yeah.
man.
Scared.
Crazy.
So, have you guys ever seen a ghost before?
Man, every
think
time this
I
comes
have.
up, I always am like, you know what? No, I never had anything. And then literally like the next day or later on, I'm like, holy shit, I forgot to tell this story. And so basically I have no stories until tomorrow.
That's hilarious.
I
Yeah.
swear
You just
I'll
clip
message
it
all
in.
of you and be like, oh,
It's just a
this is
close
what
up his
happened.
face telling the story.
Honestly, the only I don't think I've ever had any encounter. However, I've definitely fallen victim to where I'm looking for something, and then I look in every fucking spot, and then like this, for instance, it'd be like I'm looking for that there, right? And like
Mhm.
I knew I put it there, right? And then you come back to it like an hour later, and you swear
Was it
Yeah.
me and you
it's
last
there, and
weekend?
it's there now. That's probably off the top of my head right now the only thing I could.
Yeah.
So it's just what I don't. So like some like you're in your afterlife, right? You have all the secrets of the fucking universe. You're one with your spirit has joined like fucking I don't know whatever, and you're just like fuck it, I'm gonna fuck with this guy.
Take it
Yeah,
later.
man.
And take it
Yeah.
later.
That'd
Yeah.
be fun, man. Like, can you imagine that?
Mhm.
But
Spirits have been known to do that. They'll move
Yeah.
objects
Yeah.
because they only have a limited amount of energy. So,
yeah,
demonic spirits are known to feed off of negative energy. For instance, if you feed into the fear,
Yeah.
if you're
If you-
depressed, they'll get you in a weak state and try to take over your body.
Idle minds of the devil's play toy or whatever.
The playground, I think.
Yeah, sorry. There we go.
Just
One and
like,
the same.
But you know what? I never understood. Sorry, I'm interrupting, but I never actually understood that until one day I was like thinking of like sitting idle and like doing nothing, and I was like, oh, that's what they mean.
yeah.
Okay.
That's that. You grab me one from the fridge.
Yeah,
maybe?
for sure.
Thanks.
But
man.
yeah,
hook me up too,
Anyone
bro.
else
Like I said,
want
as for
one? Yeah.
ghost things, I'm like, no, nothing. You know, like
Never
even right
lived in a
now,
haunted house.
even right now, I can think of
No.
like, but the
Man,
thing
just
is
me then.
Yeah.
I mean,
all of
I
these
think I
things-
have like I have all these stories from when I was a kid, though, right? So like I've never experienced
Yeah.
like in my adult life, I've never experienced something that I can't like explain with
I-
like
Hmm.
reasonable.
What about like
doubt,
missing time?
I think I have like a
Missing
guard.
time, yo. Like
Yo,
that
George
I've
St.
definitely
Pierre. George St. Pierre
experienced.
knows all about missing time.
Like, I'll definitely look at the clock
Nobody?
and
But not drinking or anything.
No, yeah, like it'll
Mhm.
be first thing in the morning. Usually it is first thing in the morning. For instance, I'm looking at my phone, right? And it 5:45, we'll say. Swear I don't even do that much, I didn't read that much or whatever. Look at the clock again, and it's like quarter after. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
like quarter
Time
after
flies, though,
6
man.
at
I
this
do-
point. Or
Do that shit at work all the time.
Have you ever
Yeah.
had hours go missing?
I don't think about that. No,
Okay.
definitely not hours.
I have one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird. I felt like I was being watched, and this was another haunted house I lived in,
Yeah.
and I felt like I was being watched, and I called everybody, texted everybody. I'm like, somebody has to come over here. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And right at 1 a.m., everything faded to black. Like, in a movie when it goes to the next scene?
Yeah.
So it faded to
absolutely.
black, and then right at 5 a.m. on the dot, I woke up with an excruciating pain in my left ear, and I couldn't hear out of my ear for a week. And in that week,
Yeah.
I could repeat back to people what they were thinking.
What?
And then I moved out of there a week later. My ear popped on the ride out of there.
Really?
Yeah, it was really weird.
Damn.
You get some fucking superpower.
Yo.
For...
I don't
Remember?
know, man.
Did I say that on the last one? The kid and his family were in the park, and he saw his grandma in the park, and
Last week you said?
I think I said that on the trip
I
thing.
keep going.
And
keep going.
and the grandma took him into a cave and pulled out a piece of paper and told the kid to shit on the piece of paper.
This is getting
and-
familiar.
Yeah,
now.
I
I
remember
remember
this.
we got weird with it
Yeah,
for a little
yeah.
bit last
But then,
week. Yeah.
okay,
There's a point
sorry,
to
you'll
it,
see how, yeah.
there's-
So
yeah.
Okay.
then they called, and then this actually ties into the super being thing that I was talking about. They like wear cloaks, and they're like there's white ones and
Mhm.
black ones,
Oh
or
yes,
whatever.
this
Like,
was for DNA pretty much.
yeah,
right?
and so
okay.
Ah.
Yeah.
they went home. So they found the kid. He was sleeping on this trail. So they woke him up, like, okay, what happened, whatever. And he tells this story. And he said that he knew whenever like the grandma pulled out the piece of paper and was like, shit on this piece of paper, he got this feeling that this isn't my grandma. And the
Mhm.
kid's only like 3 years old or something,
Whoa,
right? So
yeah.
like for the kid to recognize this. And then he woke up. So then they went and called the grandma, and the grandma said, I was in that park in that same area camping, and they slept like just on the ground. And she woke up in the middle of the night, and she had a prick in the back of her neck and like something bit her. And so she woke the guy up, like her husband or whatever, woke him up, and he looked, and there was like a big like bump on her neck, and like looked like something had like poked her. So then, what I think they were suggesting was that whatever this was took the DNA and then looked like the grandma, and then went to try and get the kid's
Shapeshifter.
DNA to like
Yeah.
and so I forget how that relates to what we were just talking about, but I did bring that up last episode.
That's a lot about like what I was saying with the Skinwalker Ranch. They'll take on the form of another being completely.
Yeah.
Aliens will even do that. Extraterrestrials will do that. So that you're more calm when they show up. People have had like at this point in my life, I believe it. I've seen gray aliens twice in person, on 2 separate occasions.
Those are the ones with the big heads and the big eyes.
You ever
I've
seen
seen
the
a tall
lizards?
gray up on just close to here, actually, Richmond and Grennan.
Okay.
I was out running midnight, November 15th, 2015.
Yeah.
I went out running, and I come down the road, and I see it float a foot off the ground, come out from the bush. I looked it up. It looks like what is known as the rake, which looks just like a tall gray alien. And it looked like I caught it doing something it shouldn't have been doing. And
no
it started
shit.
to run on all fours
Ooh.
like a gorilla. And it was
Crazy
almost like it was
creepy.
in a different dimension, like it was fuzzy a bit. And I couldn't make sense of it. But I'm thinking, okay, maybe it was vibrating at a different frequency?
type thing.
And then so it got to Grennan and Richmond, and it stood on its 2 legs, looked at me. I'm still running. And then it ran away again on all fours to the left, up Grennan. And then I ran the entire way home, up Carling. I was like, I'm going to fucking die tonight. And I've never been so scared in my entire life.
That sounds pretty fucking creepy.
But the weirdest part was the next morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, my mom was taking her dog out for a walk. And she said her neighbor's lawn, there was 2 super tall people looking into her neighbor's window with an army print, skin tight suits on. And when she came out, they stiffened up like she had caught them doing something. Exactly like what I told you with the gray alien.
Yeah.
And then they both walked away in unison, same foot, same
Ooh.
time, around the corner. She goes around the corner with her dog. They're gone.
Creepy,
Yeah.
man.
I want to see an
I don't
alien.
even know what to
Fuck.
do.
Yeah.
Man, I
Yeah.
actually like this guy. He's like he's no bullshit. Like he's probably killed people. Like No, he hasn't. But he's like, but he's like a
Yeah.
very serious guy. Like he drives a motorcycle, and he's like, bro, like, so I couldn't picture him making this up. But whenever he was younger, he like lived in a trailer or whatever, and it was on like his parents' backyard or something. And he woke up in the middle of the night, and the fucking trailer was lit up with like different colors and shit. And he's like, "What the fuck? There's something outside."
Yeah,
So they walked in. Well, he pulled out his gun that was already loaded,
of course.
and
I wouldn't go out without anything
yeah.
in my fucking hand.
and
either.
he goes out, and there was something in the field. He said
Yeah.
it looked like it was hovering, but it could have been that the lights were higher up on it or something.
Yeah.
But there was lights, and they were all spinning around, and it was all different colors. And then he saw these two tall, like lanky fuckers like that.
Yeah.
And like I said, this guy's like no bullshit. And whenever like, so he didn't actually tell me this story. The person who told me the story, like he told them the story,
Yeah.
and like they said,
Isn't that
like,
always the case? Though?
yeah, I know, yeah, but like,
I heard
and like
from a
I know
guy,
this
told a
guy
guy.
really well too. Like I've known him since I was a kid,
Yeah.
so like I know that like if he's telling this story, it's true.
Yeah.
You know, because he's not like he won't even laugh at jokes and stuff. Like he's like a very serious guy.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you?
He
trying
doesn't
to be
fuck
funny?
around.
You know, like yeah,
Because
Mhm.
he's seen the reality.
yeah, that's yeah.
There's no time for
But
fucking jokes.
so I definitely like when when I heard that he told that story, I'm like, okay, it's true, it's real.
Mm.
Yeah, there's been millions of cases in I believe
Definitely.
in Africa. 65 children saw two gray beings. It was on a
Oh,
recess break.
yeah, I heard this story.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so they all saw the same thing. They saw the UFO, two gray aliens, and a lot
We
of the
need some weed.
children afterwards, they had this thought in their head like the aliens were telling them we're destroying our planet and you need to do something to make
Oh,
it better.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
the super beings that I was talking about on the last show that I brought up earlier, they were so. I won't give the whole story or whatever, but this guy had a run-in with them, and they were like standing really far away, and then there was one standing like even further away, and it was like the other one was like guarding this one,
Mhm.
but he said that him and his girlfriend or whatever got this vibe like we gotta get the fuck out of here, but it was like they were being told leave here, and so they think that these like super beings use their mind to like
Telepathic, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, definitely.
So that totally makes sense. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Another time I saw a gray alien was in 2011. This was before I went out to occupy Wall Street in New York. And I was camping. My house had caught on fire, so I was invited to go live at this campground, Whispering Pines. And
Heard
so
of that.
I went to go collect deadfall and twigs in the woods. And on about my fifth trip back in, this creature looked just like a small gray alien, shifted its weight in front of me, big cranium, two black eyes, no facial features, no ears, and it was about that far away from me.
What?
And like I wasn't
Tall?
afraid.
Are they tall?
No,
Oh, they're
No.
they're
little
short.
things.
Short?
There's tall grays and then there's short
These
grays,
guys.
small
okay,
grays.
okay.
So I ran away back to the fire and told them what happened because I didn't want to get abducted, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, pretty sure I just saw a gray alien. And the weirdest thing was, 2 hours later, our group had split off into two groups. And there was like the younger kids went and they were walking around. And so 2 hours later, they came back and my friend told me that the 13-year-old girl had seen a white figure in the woods.
Oh, damn.
oh,
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's a while.
Yeah.
And do you think, like, having said all that, do you think we'll ever get to like the day where it's like common knowledge? You know,
That
like
they
it's like
exist and there's more
full disclosure kind of thing. Like,
like how
Slowly
how-
leaking out.
yeah, just off general knowledge, if you have a good head on your shoulders, how do you think we're the only living things
I'll
in
guarantee
the
there's other
uni-
life
like
in the
how,
universe,
and then
but like,
solar systems and
yeah,
everything. Like,
but-
how would we be the only?
I
There's
think they
no
live
way.
in the earth, honestly.
inside.
There's so many cases
the
of
hollow
them
earth.
coming up. And like even my friend in Morocco, he said he saw a hooded being sink into the earth in the forest.
see,
Yeah.
I'm not fucked up.
Yeah. This is the episode where we get proven sane.
What happened?
Insane.
Oh, last week we were just
Oh,
talking
sorry,
all
yeah,
the shit, but there
these are the
wasn't
hooded
much, you
beings that I'm
know.
talking about.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
the black and white ones, like the like their cloaks are black and white.
Yeah.
Then they have like black or white hair or whatever, and they talk to you with their mind. And they supposedly came from I don't know what it's called, but it's a city that like went underwater by
Okay.
California. And they're the people that were
Like,
talking with their
but not
mind to the
Atlantis?
people and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, not Atlantis. Yeah. Anyways,
Lemuria.
I don't know a whole lot a whole like enough about it, but they believe that they go because the thing I watched, it wasn't about them, it was about this park, and they talked about them, so they gave you just enough to know about what they were getting at, kind of thing. So you didn't know, but they said like basically like you're saying like they could go through the earth and stuff, which would be
Or through walls.
is that like the
A
hollow
lot of
earth thing?
abductions. Like, well, yeah, I think.
Or
that,
is that
I
part
think they
of
live
that?
in the earth. Yeah, hollow earth. Like Admiral Byrd, he said that the earth is hollow. He went in through an opening at the North Pole.
And they found
You know?
found their
Cool.
way to do these things because they're like adapting.
Yeah,
They're like using their minds, like
as everything does.
and I totally believe that we can use our mind more than we actually do,
Yeah,
but we can't believe it.
yeah, you got for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mind's a powerful thing. You just gotta use it.
Yeah. Reading is knowledge, and knowledge is power.
If you read
Yeah.
read a bunch, you might get telepathy or ESP
So,
or something.
I'm
have-
telepathetic.
I have a
sorry.
question for you guys. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was just telling you about how the guy was sinking into the earth, whatever.
Yeah.
My friend also told me that he met a girl shortly after, and she said every night she would get taken through the walls by these beings in a black hooded robe,
Ooh.
and they would take her somewhere and torture her every night. So
Wow.
what do you think about this idea of clones or cloning a body to take your spirit while you sleep, and then like, aliens like fucking with you?
I guess I've ever thought about anything.
You know
what?
before.
I used
I
to
have to
think,
think about it. I do this kind of shit.
whenever I was a little kid, man, I used to think like so. Like, there's a window in my room or whatever,
Yeah.
and my bed went like this, and like my feet were at the window, and I used to lay there sometimes, and I would think like, oh my god, there's aliens outside my window, and
Yeah.
they're studying me, and I thought they would sit outside my window and like study me, so I'd just stay still and like sometimes hide under the blanket and stuff,
Yeah.
like so.
We are the
Oh,
aliens,
maybe
man.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hybrids.
Yeah, we are their creations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came down here and they took because like
Capture
if
the
you
aliens.
actually look at the human being, like we're the only species on this planet that can't really survive naturally on this fucking planet. It seems like
Yeah, no.
I
like
think-
not anymore. Anyways, like we
well,
don't like we need
well,
clothes.
Not unless we
need
build an
like,
insulated house.
Yeah,
We're
like-
fucked.
Oh yes, I see what you
You know
mean.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's-
okay. We need like shelter and stuff.
yeah,
Like,
well, it'd be like most like animals just like
Because I was like,
are
I don't know, we used to
one
do
with
it,
the planet
but
almost. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like they
I
don't.
think you could do it, to be honest with
yeah,
Yeah,
but
you
at the
could.
same time too, like back in the day, what's the thing called? Cro-Magnon Man, where he turns into the human.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Natives do it.
They used to be hairy
Yeah,
monkeys back in the
absolutely,
day,
like,
apparently,
you.
right?
People live off the land, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
But I,
yeah.
but
Maybe
I,
not
but I
on
know
the
what you
North
mean.
Pole.
I know what you
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
Without
Or
some
not
kind of
live as long.
adaptation.
But they have to kill but say like these people they have to kill
Yeah.
and make coats because they can't live.
Yeah,
like, they
yeah.
Most animals get born and what they're fucking with is what they survive with.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
A
but
human
they
being cannot
adapted.
do that.
But they adapted, though. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna.
But see, like
I see
maybe
the
that's how we
question.
evolved was that
Mhm.
we like started living in caves and houses and like pampering ourselves, and then we
Of
started
course,
like
yeah.
growing less hair and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
was gonna say. It would depend on how long.
It's been a lot, right? So that's
You know
the
what I mean?
and I
Yeah.
get that, right? So
Like,
yeah,
but-
for sure.
But I can see both sides of that too,
yeah.
though. Like because at the same time too, I know what you mean. Without, like you said it best, without an insulated house and shit,
Mhm.
we're like,
Yeah,
Pretty
like,
well,
I mean,
but also,
if the electricity went out tomorrow and nobody could
you
do
guys
anything.
ever watch the show
most
Naked and
they're
Afraid?
gone.
I have not,
Like, people,
but
so that's what I mean by like how long do you-
Survival.
survival,
Mhm.
yeah, because like these people will go for like a month, and like they're living at the end, but like give them another month, and yeah, like
yeah,
you know,
I got a good
they're
7
living,
days in
they're
me.
doing it, but like they're
At
not going
most.
too far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, like, what about those two circus brothers that were like wolves? They're covered in hair.
Stephen Jeeves.
I wonder if that is like what we used to look like, perhaps.
I would believe.
See, that's
so,
what that's what I
almost,
mean.
yeah.
If you look
I
at
do
if you
believe
look at
that.
I think I'm saying the name wrong, Cro-Magnon Man or whatever. It's like shows the guy going from the monkey into the
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
man or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And yeah, like so if you think that that's the way that we evolved,
Yeah.
then
Maybe not all of us.
no, but I'm just saying for the people that do
Humans
think
in
that way,
general,
like
yeah.
Mhm.
that, then we had coats at one point too.
Yeah.
But at the same time too, we couldn't be like just sleeping on the ground in the snow like a dog could, or like
Mhm.
no. But you always find like you find a way. Like humans will always find a way to live. So back then they did what they had to do. You
Mhm.
know, they killed mammoths and use their fur, you know.
That's why we have opposable thumbs, so we can like create things.
Yeah, man,
we have our
ourselves.
intelligence.
the fact
right?
that we live and have what we have, yo, just take a second. Like the fact that we breathe air, like, is
Appreciate
it. Oh, man.
insane.
Yeah.
Like the fact, like, it's insane, man. Like, it's insane.
but it's
How
not
our
real.
body works and shit.
It's
yeah.
all just a computer
we can
simulation.
See, like, you know what I mean? We can taste, we can smell. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
How?
yeah.
But
How?
even too, man, like
It's
some,
actually
some-
mind-blowing, yeah.
even too, like some animals and stuff like that. Like I watch a lot of that weird, like, whatever. I was gonna say history, like National Geographic and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
And like some animals are like amazing creatures. Like the things that
Oh.
they do and stuff. Like I can't think of an example. I'm not like as smart as some people, but
Well-
but just some of the things like you're like to compare them even to us. You're like, okay, yeah, we eat food, we take stuff out of it, and like whatever. And like, yeah, we're a like crazy machine too. But like a cow has 4 stomachs. Like, why or whatever, you know what I mean? But like it has a reason, and like all these things, like, well, man, like a sloth. Actually, this is a good example. A sloth is like covered in
Moss.
yeah, like green like mold and shit.
Ew.
But the thing is
It's
that
moss, I'm pretty sure, 'cause
I was going somewhere with that. It was rock solid, but it's like there's some kind of mold that grows on them, but then there's like it's good for them, or there's like
Yeah.
bugs that live on them or something
eat
that
the
like eat it or
moss,
something.
yeah.
Like it's there's some, and it's like
There's
they had this sloth on the show and they were talking about it, like, yeah, it's gross and stuff, and like it's all, but if you like clean it all the time, like some part of the fucking world wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
again,
It's true.
I'm less of the details, but
yeah.
I
you
know
know
what
what I
you're
mean,
saying,
though. Like,
The point
yeah,
is
man,
clear.
It's like
Mhm.
fucking algae. You know what I mean? There's fish that eat algae and there's fish
Yeah.
that don't, and it's those fish kind of
The
save the other
circle of
fish. I was
life.
literally gonna
exactly,
say
exactly.
that.
Yeah, and like, and that's the thing.
I
Is
was
like
totally
if you
getting ready
took
to
like
say
certain
that.
things out of that, it wouldn't go the same way.
Exactly.
And it would fuck
Yeah, like,
things up. And
it-
like all that to me is like, that's fuck cool. And like obviously
Yeah.
someone like planned that. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I don't think that just happens. You know, like.
So does that get back to what I was saying, that like the human beings were created by an alien race, by the
Man, it's
by the
Our whole fucking
So,
like
like how
ecosystem is fucking created by, or not
Yeah.
ecosystem, but like our whole like world is created by something. I think
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean. And I'm not about to say what or who or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't even know.
Well, it was
But
created
it
by
definitely
something. It's
has to
clearly
be
here.
like
something created it.
no, for sure. But I'm just saying I'm not making a stand that it's like one or the other or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like definitely like something. It's like a car. A car works that way because so many people were like, let's do it this way,
Made
you
it
know,
that
or like
way.
Yeah.
it needs to do this to do this,
yeah.
you know, and it's
There's
like,
definitely been hybrid breeding programs because so many women have reported being pregnant and then they just lose the baby, report being abducted by aliens. You know, like
Crazy.
there's so many cases of
Yeah.
that.
did you see the Joe Rogan thing where George St. Pierre was on it? And they were talking about time disappearing, and George St. Pierre's talking, and I think George St. Pierre brought it up,
Yeah,
and he's talking about how he's like, you ever, I won't do the French accent, I'm bad, but he's like, you ever, like look at the clock and then you look away and you look at the clock again and it's a different time,
yeah.
and like part of me was like,
Of
yep, because
course.
like yeah, like you know, you looked away
I
and
get
looked back,
that,
but,
yeah,
but he's talking about like, you know, an hour or whatever, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then,
When you
he's
swear
going
you
on,
were doing like not much. you
and
know?
Joe Rogan's like, you know, like, so what are you getting at or whatever? And he's like, oh, I think it's aliens or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he's like,
They just stole
like,
a bunch of your time.
part of me was like, I feel like he's just saying this to be like, ooh, like, we have crazy content on
Yeah,
here or
Yeah,
whatever, you
I'm on
know?
a podcast.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, he was like pretty adamant that like when he's like, you know, when you're driving in the car and you look back and you look and it's a different time, you're in the same spot or whatever, you know? And he's like, alien. You know?
Yo, that shit happens to me all the time. Like, but
Does
maybe not. Like, well, I'll be driving
Yeah.
and then I'll be paying attention, and then all of a sudden I'll be like off in my own world thinking about something in my head, and then I'll get to like either my destination or just before my destination,
realization.
and just like realize like I don't remember like taking the last like 6 turns or shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I
totally.
just like
I don't remember how
I'm
I
just, like,
got
here.
here.
I've definitely had like shit like that, but I chalk it up to being a stoner.
That's
Because like
Pretty
even
much.
sometimes like I'll get home and I'll be like, I literally just drove home from a buddy's house that might be like 20 minutes away, and I'll get home and be like, which way did I take?
yeah.
Like I won't even know which way I turned onto my street to get onto my
Yeah.
street to like tell me
Yeah,
which way
it's
I
just
went.
gone
I'm
out
like,
in my head.
what the fuck, man? I'm like, yeah, I'm like, literally that whole drive home just disappeared. But I always just look at it as like, oh, well, fucking stoner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess I didn't need that memory. Fuck it.
Mhm.
It must be out of
Yeah.
space.
You're like zoned
Out
out.
of
Really
space on
wasn't
my hard drive.
important. But you never know. I guess I just never looked at it from the other side. Like,
Aliens could be stealing your fucking memories, man.
fucking right. They're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, we'll just drop you and your
Totally
car off at your house there. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like they upgraded
CA
too.
aliens.
They're on their next level of shit. They're like, fuck, we don't need to abduct them anymore. We can just like steal their memories and like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
experiment.
So,
Yep.
my next
Dream state.
question is going
I gotta
to
turn
be,
this off.
what do you think about deja vu then?
I think deja vu.
Past life.
There's two reasons why I ever get deja vu. Either I dreamt it and I can actually remember dreaming it,
Yeah, I
or
feel that.
I feel like I'm on the right path in life, and it's like a little reminder, like, okay, you're doing the right thing.
That's cool. I
Mhm.
like that. I like that.
What do
'Cause
you
I-
think it is?
Oh, I've definitely have never had a solid opinion. I've definitely thought of like I've lived this before. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like so past life
Could be
kind of
that too,
thing.
yep.
I've thought of. I really like the on the right path thing though. Like you probably
Yeah.
honestly changed my perspective of it. Legit.
Yeah.
I really
Nice.
like that. Never thought of it that
It's
way.
like I've heard of that too. Like it means you're in the right place, right
Yeah,
now, whatever
yeah.
you're doing. It's like the
Mhm.
222 thing.
That's cool. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But I don't know. Some part of me says it's like your past life because I'm somewhat of a believer in reincarnation. Whether it's like
Yeah.
whether you're
Oh,
the
yes.
same person or not or whatever.
Just
Because
a
like
different form of
in
energy.
some places they believe that you like come back as like bugs and stuff and like animals and shit.
Your energy
Mhm.
just goes. Yeah.
Some people believe that like you come back as the same person and you're just like living the same thing, like learning lessons and stuff, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And then if you're a bad person, in this life, you're gonna have a bad life next life.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways,
Bad karma.
yeah, yeah.
Reincarnation is totally real.
Mhm.
Like I did a
So that's
show-
what I think it is. Is you're like,
Yeah, yeah.
I lived this before.
Yeah.
There was a doctor who traveled to over 3,000 children interviewing them, and they all reported remembering their past lives, where they lived, the name of their spouse, even down to their address. They had scars that were associated with how the person had died in the past life. You know, over 3,000 children. It's from the age of 2 to 6 or 5 usually. Doesn't really go past 5. And they all had
Crazy.
the same.
Holy
There was
shit,
even
I'll
one.
probably have a heart attack then.
There was even like one girl who was obsessed with her former husband and never remarried and always pined after him, and she looked just like the girl in the past life. So
No
That's
way.
yeah.
crazy.
Um,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
I actually
though.
one time
Mhm.
had a
Like-
dream that. So, this is a very simple dream, but I had a dream I was sitting in class and I went to the washroom. I asked to go to the washroom and I went to the washroom. I was in grade 3, so I was like 8 years old. I was like my son's age.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I asked to go to the washroom. I go to the washroom. I walk back into the class, and whenever I walked into the class, this one kid was writing on the board. Actually, I might have been, but I had the same classroom. But anyways,
Yeah.
one dude was writing on the board, and I was like, I recognized it as like this kid or whatever, right? So then, I don't know when it was. It could have been a year later. I don't
Yeah.
know. But I go to the washroom. Yeah, went to the washroom, and I was walking back to the door to open up the door, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm like, this happened before, and I was like, it was that dream, yeah, and I was like, yeah, I had this dream, and I was like, yeah, and Devin was standing at the board, and I opened the door, and Buddy was standing at the door, and I was just like, what the fuck, and I just stood there for a second. My teacher's like, what are you doing? And I was just like, oh, and I would like, didn't want to have to explain, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh, nothing, yeah, cool, yeah, just like sat down. I'm like,
Yeah,
Just predicting my future, and now I'm doing
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
I also had a cool, just real quick, I also had a cool dream. It was in the same class because I remember the desks were set up the same way, that if I like jumped high enough, I would like, it wasn't like I could fly, I would like just shoot off and then just appear somewhere else. And like, so I was at home and I was like trying to like do that, but
Yeah.
it was like a thing I could do. And so I was
Cool.
doing it and I did it and I landed in class and I was like, no. And I was trying to jump and then a bunch of water came up and you know, it's harder to jump in water. I was trying to get out of there. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm trying to jump out of the school. And I
That's
like
wild.
woke up.
You know what's the
Anyways,
dopest thing?
unrelated, but
It's like
Oh,
yeah, talk
The
about
dopest thing.
dreams.
Dreams, I love.
I have
Dreams
crazy
like every
So-
night, man.
Tell
have
us,
you
Ben.
ever
Yeah.
had a lucid dream where you're fully conscious that you're like
Mm-hmm.
in the
Yeah.
dream, you know exactly what's going
Yeah,
on.
yeah. I
Um,
have a couple times for sure.
I don't know if it's the same thing, but I've like
I'm gonna mix a drink first before we continue.
Yeah.
I have
Okay.
some.
Get it.
I have a Mickey in my bag.
Oh,
There
do
you
your
go.
thing.
Hell yeah.
But I don't think it's the same thing. This is like, you know what like the Ether Realm is? I think it's called Ether Realm.
Ether.
Ether Realm, maybe, yeah.
Hmm.
It's like
That's a word I've heard before.
it's like how you can like, so you can just like, oh no, wait,
like a
sorry, wait,
reality
no,
thing?
wait, I might be using the wrong term. What's it called when you astral projecting?
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
Frankie's into that shit.
so
Shout out
that-
Frankie.
Yeah.
Frankie Gotts.
So
He knows
that
what's up with
that
that
probably
shit.
doesn't relate to the lucid dreaming thing. I don't think I've ever really had a dream that I knew for a fact I was dreaming.
Yeah.
But I've had dreams where like there's things I can do in my dreams that I just know that I can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can do this thing where if I like kind of like or like gallop or whatever or like skip
Yeah.
a few times, I can like jump really far.
Yeah.
So if I'm running from someone, I can like skip and then jump.
Jump.
But
yeah.
it's not that I'm like I know I'm dreaming. It's just that I'm like I know I can do this right now
Yeah.
because I'm in a dream. But it's not that I know I'm in a dream. So I've never had the lucid dreaming thing.
Yeah.
But I've literally laid down, man, and pretended that I was like going out of my body
Yeah.
and going to a person's house. I hadn't seen them in a little while.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to their place,
Yeah.
whatever. And I like literally, man, I pictured flying over the highway and shit and whatever
Yeah,
and blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. And this is called it's either astral or astral projection.
Astral for sure.
Okay, yeah. So, so I was like doing it just to be like, haha. Like, in my mind, I wasn't even doing it. I was just like pretending I was doing it, right?
Yeah.
And like, so I like literally in my mind like went to this person's house and was like standing there like watching them walk around and like do stuff in their house, you
Yeah.
know, and like not in a weird way, just like I also wasn't in a place that I could I wasn't in like a great place,
Yeah,
you know what I
okay,
mean?
yeah.
And I wanted to not be there,
there,
basically.
yeah.
So I was like doing that on purpose. But anyways, so the point is whenever I got away from that place on the Monday, this was on a Saturday,
Yeah.
and on the Monday I got out of that or got away from there,
Okay.
and I opened up my phone, and my phone at the time was one of the ones that tells you when the person texted when you turn it on.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just say you just got all these texts right now.
Okay.
So they texted me
Yeah.
on it was either the Saturday night or the Sunday, and was like, I think it was the Sunday, and she was like, yeah, she's like, I haven't like seen you in a while, whatever, blah blah blah. Just
Yeah.
been thinking about you. And
Wait,
she's
what
like,
did we miss?
some weird-
Drama.
Yeah.
some weird
What's
shit,
happening?
some weird shit happened or whatever at my house and whatever. She's like, I think someone was like in my house last night and shit and whatever. And I'm like, no fucking way,
Yeah.
I fucking did it.
Yeah.
I did it. I'm like, no way, man. I'm like, I did it. In my mind, I was just playing around with the astral projection. I'm like, was laying there and pretended like I remember like flying over the highway and like going to this person's house. Well, we all know it's a girl now, but so I went to this chick's house, right? And like I
Mhm.
remember standing there and watching her walk around her room and shit, right? And or not her room, her kitchen and shit, right? And she messaged me the next day. I didn't get it until a couple days later because I didn't have my phone. And so she messaged me the next morning and was like, yeah, some shit went down. Like, not went down, but she's like, something was weird. There's people here, whatever. Or someone was here or something, you know? And she's like, I haven't seen this girl in like, it was probably like 6 months at the time,
Yeah.
something like that. And she's like messaging me and being like, yeah, I never ever told her. I mean, whatever now, but
Yeah.
I never
She's
I
putting
never
two and two
told her
together.
that shit happened.
Yeah.
But like, I literally was like laying in my bed and was like, I'm flying over the highway and like going to this chick's house in my mind, right?
Yeah.
And then she messaged me and was like, yeah, like something happened or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
What?
You're fucking
And I'm
with some
like,
chick in
no
your
way.
dreams,
Was she
man?
like, you were in my room?
No, it was all whenever
That
I was like,
would have been crazy.
but the thing is like I was saying to him too, is that I pictured it in my mind as like I'm fooling around, like it's just a joke. I'm probably not actually doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So I was just like sitting there, I was standing there, and I was like, she was in the like kitchen just like doing shit and like walking back and forth and like whatever. And I just remember being like, you know, it's all a joke. Like I'm not really like doing this or
Yeah.
whatever. And like maybe I didn't. You know, maybe it was a totally separate occasion or whatever, right? But
More than likely.
that was basically something to help me go to sleep because it was hard to sleep, and I was doing that to sleep.
Yeah.
But I was like, maybe I will do it, you know? And like I think it worked.
Did you ever try
Yeah.
doing that shit again?
I did again, and I used to go and like visit like my son and shit.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And like the weird thing is like at one point, because I didn't like see him and shit for a while, and like his mom told me one time that he has like this ghost that would come and like visit him. Well, I don't know.
You're haunting.
Yeah,
You're
it
haunting your
is like-
son,
Sorry,
bro.
they said imaginary friend, but he would like
Yeah.
get up in the middle
Yeah,
of
it's
the
a
night.
ghost.
Yeah, he would get up in the middle of the night and like eat snacks and watch movies with this fucking. It was like CC or something like that.
Crazy.
What the
She drove.
hell?
She lived on their road, and she drove Sunfire or PT Cruiser with like the eyelashes on it.
Oh god.
Yeah, and it was like white or something, you know. And like I was like, that's a lot of detail for an imaginary friend, you know.
Yeah.
And so I've even actually like checked on that road. Is there like somewhere
Did you look
there
into
or,
the
like,
history of the
whatever?
house?
No, it's actually it was a pretty new house at the time too.
Maybe the land.
Yeah, true, because it is, yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, crazy. Like,
Yeah.
so I was like, whenever she was first telling me about it, I'm like, maybe I did it, you know. But like, nah, I don't drive a Cavalier or whatever, or Sunfire or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not a girl.
You know.
I missed like half of that story, so the ending made no sense.
Oh, nice.
Tune into the
I'm
Whitching
not
Hours
a girl.
podcast and
What?
watch it
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
He was
Oh
just
no, it's
talking about
because his imaginary friend was a girl.
Oh, okay.
And
gotcha.
he was asking me if I ever did it again, and I was saying I used to go and like visit my son. So
Okay.
when in my mind, I mean,
Yeah.
and so when she
dreaming.
told me that, I thought, hey, maybe the ghost is me, but I was like, no, I'm
Oh,
not a
I
girl.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've wondered about that.
But I believe that I've done it.
I mean, if you believe in
I
ghosts, right, and you
definitely
believe in like it's so like once if your consciousness or your whatever your spirit energy whatever
Mhm.
yeah
No, sorry.
can travel
Detached from the
when
physical
you're
body.
dreaming or when you're
Yeah.
asleep. Yeah.
When I was 6, I was
Whoa.
hit by a dirt bike, and I remember seeing a white light. I was basically pouring water on the road,
See different colors.
and I was like, I want to see, like, I noticed that the water never went down the same path, and then it would always go down a different crack. And then I looked to my left, and it was just a white light. Apparently, I had a rock embedded above my eye. It didn't fall out until, like, Christmas Day. But I remember floating outside of my body, watching myself vomit on a hospital bed, and there was a doctor and my mom, and it was like a spotlight, and I'm up in the corner, like, floating, and it's just, like, black encompassing around.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, they
Mhm.
actually believe too that like whenever you're asleep or whatever. I mean, this is somewhat not related to that story, but just how you were talking about like your soul, like your energy leaving and stuff. You can apparently when you sleep, your energy is like your soul or whatever is leaving your body, and that's what your dreams are. Is like you, and this is just like someone's theory, I guess.
Yeah.
What's her name? Something Brown, Sylvia Brown
Renee?
or something.
So- Sylvia-
Renee Brown?
No, it's like a old
Sylvia Brown.
Sylvia
She's the
Brown,
psychic.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so yeah, and the weird thing is like when you wake up and you can't move and shit, it's because your soul is out of your body.
like sleep paralysis.
yeah.
So
do
and
you
then
know what
when you're like
old hag
seizuring
is?
and stuff,
Yeah, is that the
means-
same thing? The sleep paralysis, where
Old
it's like,
hag is a little bit different. Sorry, finish what you're gonna
Well,
say.
when you're like when you wake up like that and you can't move and you're seizuring and stuff, it's because your soul's like trying to get into your body, but you've now woke up, so you're like stuck in
There's
this
like
like. And I've
that's
had
crazy.
all of these things happen.
I've never had
Okay.
that.
That's similar to old hag. I don't know if you guys have
Okay.
ever heard of that.
I haven't.
I've heard.
I was gonna
heard
say
that.
it sounds like he has. Yeah.
Okay, so there's so many different stories that go with it. Like people wake up and they see like an old haggard woman with like black
Oh
hair.
my god!
Oh,
I have
But
to
they
go home
can't
and
move,
Kill myself.
and they're
This is
completely
crazy, man.
frozen.
I'm scared.
Or they'll see a shadow in the room in the corner. They'll see like I don't know, like old lady, old man, like just demons sometimes
Yeah.
over them, aliens.
Yeah.
And then they can't move their body, or they feel like they're being something like a weight
like
on
sitting
their
on
chest.
them. Yeah.
Oh god!
yeah,
Please
yeah.
tell me
Choked.
that there's like a simple explanation for this.
There's a simple explanation for
I
a
don't
lot of the
know.
things. So like going back to when you
I'm
were
like, fuck
talking about
crying.
deja vu.
No, it's real.
So I read
They're
a thing like
actually
deja
demons.
vu is like so there's like your eyes like take in photons, which is light, which creates an electric signal in your brain. So your left and right brain gets a millisecond, if not like smaller than a millisecond difference in timing of like when the neurons in your head fire, which makes it
my
just
God.
hits your the memory part of your brain a little bit later than your viewing part of the brain.
Yeah.
So it triggers so you do something and then you get the memory of doing that. Like, oh, I've done this before. It's
Sorry,
it's
my head just
because
exploded.
that just the millisecond of difference of when the photons fire on the left and right brain. It only happens randomly in the brain. I've read a thing on this to say like,
Okay.
yeah. So that's
That makes sense.
though.
Wait, what is that?
But-
What
but
are you
my
explaining
question
it
is-
for though? Like what?
My
that's so
question-
the deja vu. So
Deja
like,
vu.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
But my question is the fucking
Mm.
old hag thing like a simple thing like that?
More
I
than
don't
likely.
think so.
Scare me? Oh man,
Because-
I'm hiding under my bed all the time.
Yeah.
Because I've heard too many people tell these stories,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I have heard some fucked up stories that I
All
will
around
not
the world.
repeat because
Yeah.
it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I don't know, we're more powerful than these negative entities. I really believe that.
Of course.
If
Yeah.
you put yourself in a negative vibration, you're gonna
Well,
attract it to you.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
one of
attracted
the
to
people,
negative
one of the
energy.
people that did tell me stories about that, she had a lot of stories, and like, not even like bad stories, just like, I'd like to be sleeping when this is going on. But my point is that she like prayed and asked like, I don't want to see this anymore. Like, can you make this go away and
Mhm.
stuff? And so and again, I'm not like saying that like prayer is the way to, or that it's
It's
God
been
or
known
whatever.
to help, though.
But I just
Mhm.
even just the positive thought of
Getting
praying
it
is
and
like
saying
putting
it.
those
It's a
signals
release,
out and like
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. The intention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so whether it was like directly, like the only reason I say that is because I want to like step around my words and not be like
Jesus
state,
is the way.
yeah, like I don't want to
Yeah,
state
yeah,
specific
for
things and be
sure.
like, this is what
Yeah,
it is, or I believe, or
Mhm.
whatever.
for sure.
A
But you know what I
release,
mean.
Though, you need it. Yeah.
There's been.
So I mean,
that's
that
been,
could even just be her. How I was relating is it could just even be her mind, you know,
Mm.
the strength of that, right?
and mine is a
like-
powerful thing, my friend.
Yes, sir.
from the interviews that I've done.
Convince you of
A
crazy
lot of
things.
people will get a blessing on the house. They'll have a priest or a religious figure come in, or a native person with sage, and
Yeah,
they'll do drumming and singing, and they'll literally ask the spirits to leave. Like, you're
Yeah.
not welcome here. And sometimes they'll have paranormal investigators, check out the place. Frank does that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have like a speech ready for a ghost.
when you meet, when
man.
you just like shake his hand, like what's up?
No,
What
like
would
I'm
you
just
say?
like, your dad, go away. Like, please, like your dad. You know, like maybe I don't have a speech, but I have like
I wouldn't
I have a
say that.
tactic, man. Because
Yeah.
because man, they need to know, and that's how they go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
literally
So maybe
say,
if you
"Get
just
the
stop
fuck
believing,
out."
right? Because you
You're not
believe so
welcome
hard,
here.
that's why you see it. Maybe if you didn't believe in it, you wouldn't see it so much.
Ta-da.
I don't know,
That's.
but I don't even know if I
Maybe.
believe.
I've also thought of that as well. Because
But
there's
there's-
definitely select
Yeah.
few people
Mhm.
that
What
I
you
could
think
I
about,
could
you
name
bring
I could
about.
name one friend
Yeah.
right now, but I don't want to name names. I guess.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
non-name drop.
But
No,
you know,
I don't know what
he's
to call
always
that.
he's always talking about that spiritual
yeah.
shit. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I don't hear it from any other friends. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like the one, like not even encounters. So yeah, I've thought of that. Like if you
Yeah,
believe
true.
in it, you'll see it. But
What you
I
focus
do-
on is what
I'll
So
you
many
admit
what you
non-believers
see.
Well,
that
like,
have experiences.
I haven't had any crazy experience, but I'm a very open-minded person. I can see like both sides of almost everything,
Mhm.
but I definitely believe in it because it's the energy aspect
Oh.
of it all. You know what I'm saying?
buddy
Like,
had a guy that used to walk up and down his
energy,
stairs.
like energy, like it moves on. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. We're
Well,
all
see,
made up
like
of
in like
matter and
legit.
energy.
So like so
Everything's made up
the
of
universe
matter.
when it like the Big Bang, there's like the singularity, right? So like
Yeah.
that's a specific amount of energy was in that from day one,
Yeah, of
right? Legit,
course.
like in.
I'm sorry, I don't believe in the Big Bang.
Well, whatever.
I'm just
Okay, so
throwing
what?
it out
So
there
okay, so
now.
I'm mainstream guy over here, right?
Yeah, and
It's
see,
okay.
I can
in
believe the Big
energy.
Bang,
So
and I
even if
can
you don't believe in the Big Bang,
Yeah, I just
science
don't know.
The Alpha
science
Omega.
Yeah.
says the energy cannot be created nor destroyed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there's only a specific amount of energy in the universe, and whatever it dies gets transmuted into something else. Like energy just
It
transforms.
goes back to
Yeah.
the main source.
exactly.
Right. So
Yeah.
like, and that's legit. Like that's science right there.
Yeah. It's
so-
reborn.
So I get it that like, so right now you're made up of particles that were created in the sun somewhere.
Yeah,
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So like when your body dies, who's to say that your body? I mean, it's legit that it's going to be,
Decomposed.
but it's the energy that you are right now will go into something else, be it a
Yes.
fucking
yeah.
a new
That's
tree
what
or
I'm
a new
saying,
whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then you got to to explain what like consciousness is, and that's what science can't do right now is explain
Mhm.
very
consciousness and where it is it in the body, is it in the brain, is it something that the brain just creates,
I have some.
is it something that's outside of
I
the
have
body
some
that
if
we
you
just
need
like
some.
tune into?
Going back to the fact that we can taste, smell, and all that, let's just talk about our brains for a moment here. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
You got me thinking of something from What the Bleep. Have you ever seen that documentary?
Yes, yeah, that's
And
a good one.
They're talking about how when they prick the finger, it takes a finite amount of time for the signal from the brain to go to the finger. So the brain knew it was going to get pricked before it happened.
Right.
Yeah.
I was
Yes.
like, what?
That's like when
Yeah.
you do this thing. You hold your finger just from someone's head, and like it doesn't do it to you because you know your finger's not touching you. If someone does it, it's just out of your
Yeah,
sight. So
yeah.
you get this feeling on
You
your
do
head.
get the feeling, yeah,
Like, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
must be like an energy field that feels it before you even know what's happening.
Yeah.
That's how fucking people are all crazy with the karate.
Yeah.
You know? Well, not karate, but you know what I mean? They're like, what's that sound? Whatever, you know? Like, they just got it down, right? They already know. They're like,
It's like using the force. Like they can
Mhm.
just
Yeah, yeah.
they can just sense that shit.
it's got to channel
got a
that.
ringing
You got to
in my
grow
left
your
ear.
hair longer.
The aliens are listening.
No.
They're communicating. They just
Gotta
tuned
go.
in. What up, Grace?
Yeah, yeah. Holla at your boy.
4G audio basement weirdos coming
Yeah.
at ya.
Come check us.
They're tuning in there for sure. They're
Get some
broadcasting
alien
this shit. In
fans.
the
Yeah, they got
fucking-
alien tube
Their
or whatever.
spaceship, yeah,
Man,
yeah.
you know what? Seriously though, if they want to come in, fuck it. Let's have them in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
well, let's do an interview. You know?
Actually, you know what, Kate? Just
hit us up.
I'm gonna go left here. Well, like whatever. But whenever you first brought up the Greys, I was gonna say, like, have you guys ever heard of the lizard people or whatever?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So like I've
Aren't they
actually
the
seen,
shapeshifters?
and this
Aren't
could
they the
be
same?
That's what I thought.
this,
Yeah.
this
the
could
queen
be
and
like
shit?
like photo or whatever, like video tricks and shit, right? But like there's like one of them was like a newscaster, and they're like,
I've
yeah,
seen a bunch
blah
of
blah blah,
these.
whatever, and like their face starts to go all fucked up like a lizard or whatever.
Yeah.
And like their eyes and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, Jane," and they're like, "Beep," and it goes to like, "Let's go to fucking, you know,
Oh, Jane.
Ollie with the weather."
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of these, yeah. But again, I always just brush it off as like
Yeah, like
Something
good
that-
job.
because there's a bunch of them that are just look like digital
Yeah,
like,
like,
glitching. Then it's
and
just,
even
like,
yeah, I was
weird
gonna
shit.
say it even like glitches and like does some weird shit. So it's like
Yeah.
they're trying to cover the like Photoshop or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of the black hooded beings are, is
Yeah.
the reptilians.
Oh,
Can I tell you
man.
something really weird?
Oh man,
Go for
I don't know if I
it.
could.
We're already
handle
into it.
anymore.
I've had a
You're
very
gonna
weird
break
life. That's why I
styles.
do this radio
Yeah.
show. So basically, my brother came to me 10 years ago, and he said that he was skateboarding at 2 a.m. near this parking lot out in the south end of Ottawa. And when he passed the parking lot, he felt a pull to go into the parking lot. And so he couldn't explain it. He went in, and then he said he kept getting these thoughts, like negative thoughts, and he kept pushing it away. And he's like, this isn't my thoughts. It was like something was trying to control his mind.
Chicks like that.
But this is the weird thing. Every time he would push
Sorry.
it away, he felt like a rise of energy come from a nearby building. And then finally he was like telling whatever it was to leave him alone. And then he looks over, and underneath the lamppost, there's like a 10-foot tall being with the black hooded robe staring at him. And then the light goes out. But the weirdest thing was, a year later, my boyfriend at the time, he's like, my friend has something to tell you. She doesn't know who else to talk to about it. And I had this radio show, which was also like what I do, but the paranormal. And she said, I was out camping, and at 2 a.m. at night, I was walking through the woods, and I walked past a diner. It was closed down. And I looked inside, and there was 15, maybe 7 to 8 foot tall beings with black hooded robes and red eyes staring at her. And she couldn't do anything but cry, and she ran away.
I
I just got chills telling you
Yeah.
this story.
That's wild.
crazy.
I've never seen any shit like that. Like I've always
No.
like
Man.
It was
I
just
remember
people,
being a
like,
kid, like
telling me.
running up the stairs, and like the top of the stairs was all dark, and like the bedroom was to my right, and as I'm coming up the stairs and I turn, the door is open, and I see something like looking like it's like looking around the corner, and then whips around into the bedroom, and like I stopped in my fucking tracks, and I'm like, did I just see someone in that fucking like? And I don't know, fuck, this was way back in the day.
Yeah.
And again, I always just put it down to my just overactive imagination.
What did it look
Yeah.
like?
It just looked like a person, just like a
Mm.
yeah, just a
Oh my god, I thought it was a ghost talking with your voice. I said, "Oh, man." I'm like, what?
Scary.
That was an
tripping
EVP
you all
for a
that.
second there.
No,
man.
for
Man.
real though. Like, but then so I always just count the shut off as just like whatever. Like my brain
I
saw
get
some
like
shit. And
Is that
I,
this
feelings
house?
from things.
no, this was like again when I was a kid when I
Oh,
saw
kid.
this. This is
Okay.
like this was back in the UK when I lived
That's
in England.
crazy.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought I'm
Probably
just like I was
does.
just an imaginary kid, or I saw some crazy shit that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I lived in haunted houses where you see shadow beings and stuff like that. Pretty crazy.
Crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason why I don't remember any of the stories when this stuff comes up is because I've like pushed them out of my brain. Because seriously, like I
Yeah.
said, I
Don't want
know
to
for a fact
remember.
every time I have this conversation afterwards, I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm like driving home by myself, like crying or something. But yeah. I definitely had like shit touch me and stuff, but like at the same time it could be like muscle twitching and stuff. But like some of them have been like very like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
wrap
Hmm.
me kind
One
of thing.
thing I
where-
just fucking remembered myself. Actually,
There you go.
I've definitely woken up with some mystery scratches.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
3 scratches?
Eh, maybe I don't know. Like
Because that is true.
Like
I
my
definitely-
my
What happened?
girlfriend always, I don't even know. Like I'll just like go to bed, wake up, and like the next morning she'll say, "You got like this weird, this." Be like, I didn't do that at work. You know what I mean? Like you would know if you did it at work or whatever. And it's just like in the most usually on my torso somewhere back toward like abdomen or pecs or whatever, like some weird spot. And it's
Mhm.
not like it's like a thin scratch. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, it's weird.
I've had a dime for every time I've heard that story
Yeah.
on my show. Yeah, it's usually 3 though, which is
3.
actually a mockery of the Holy Trinity, supposedly. Like demons like to use the 3,
Yeah, which
but
is like
so many people.
Monster energy drink.
monster. Yeah, that's what I was
Trident.
gonna say. The
Mhm.
The devil's
six,
trident.
666. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
333. No.
So you can't explain where it came from.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, not at all.
I was gonna be like, maybe you're like sleeping and shit, and you're just like,
Of course, right?
But
Like
then, like-
maybe, but
but yeah,
Do
like
you have a
if it's
cat
like a
or
needle.
anything?
I do. But
Okay.
I've definitely no.
They wouldn't
cat's
just go-
recent and cat's exactly. I probably wake up to a cat scratch too.
Mhm.
I'm actually a pretty light sleeper. If there's something like if there was someone walked into the room even, and there wasn't like a fan going that was already like overtaking, like I'd probably wake up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But so a cat on top of me while I'm sleeping, I'd wake up instantly.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Very
Yeah.
strange.
yeah,
Yeah, that happens to a lot of people, believe it or not.
I believe it
Man.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just picturing these ghosts going around, be like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Scratch
I'm
me.
fucking with you. Fucking with you, not.
I don't know. I'd do shit like that. I don't know if I'd like scratch people,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, I'd fuck with people, man. Like,
I mean,
it's like
You
work
must be
up all my
bored.
energy
Yeah.
just
that's
to
what I
like
was gonna
slap someone
say.
or something.
You'd probably be like a year of, like, I don't know, whatever, and then you'd be like, man, I'm so bored.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna fuck with
with
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
But
what
man, if you're a
happens.
ghost,
you
like
could,
you
and that's
like,
what it's all
unless there's some
about,
sort
yo,
of like
like-
rule that you can't leave, like Earth.
You got to
Like,
finish your
you
business,
could
really
man.
have to.
Gotta-
legit.
What if you don't
just
finish
go
your
into the
business
light.
on
fucking
purpose?
I just
Yeah.
go into the universe and be like, "Fuck going to the light."
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna go see what Mars looks like.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if I can fly, let's check out other planets. And I don't need to
Usually-
breathe and shit.
That's
Like,
exactly. I'm gonna go check out the fucking stars for a bit.
Is
Yeah.
it like that though, or like it's only like that area, isn't it? Would you say like
do you
the
mean?
area that they were killed in?
Yeah, usually they'll
Like
do
they
the
wouldn't
blessing
leave the
and-
house, if they're killed in the house or
Sometimes they will.
yeah.
Sometimes they'll.
Oh yeah, have you ever
follow.
seen
Attach
Ghost Dad?
to
You usually
somebody.
see that for demonic
Yeah,
spirits,
yeah.
though. Yeah, usually if people are like attached to a home, like say an old couple, for instance, died at this home and then their spirits were seen there.
Okay.
You know, but it wasn't threatening.
Yeah.
You know, but
yeah.
then they wouldn't follow people. But then
Yeah.
like some people will report being in like feels like a demonic type of presence, and then it follows them wherever they go,
Wherever-
even if they
yeah.
do move, until they do a blessing and they cleanse themselves.
Yeah.
Usually they'll say go into the light, or you have to pass, you have to cross over, you're not wanted here, and then,
Yeah.
and then
that's rude.
But so many times after
Sorry.
that, nothing ever happens again.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, maybe it does work. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
True say. Yeah.
Well, and like too, I go back to the same girl that I was saying, paid or whatever, and asked for all the shit to stop.
Yeah.
Her grandma died, and like I think it was after that stuff too, and there was like something happening, like she got a rose from her grandma's funeral or something, and it was like spinning around, but it was like just spinning the one way.
Yeah.
Because like if it's on a piece of string, it would spin one way and spin back the other, but it was just like spinning.
Yeah.
And I guess it like freaked her out, so she was like, "No, like stop or whatever." Like grandma, stop or whatever, and then like it just stopped.
What?
and like she never got anything
Creepy.
from her grandma again. But I
saw
guess
my
like,
grandmother after she died. It's really weird.
and I actually,
I've heard of
I was gonna say I actually
of a
like
friend
fully
that saw his
believe
grandpa and
in
stuff after.
shit like that, like well, ghosts and shit, because there was a family that like that happened. Like the one guy killed himself in high school. The family's like so religious again, like the opposite ends of the spectrum as the guy told the story about with he, you know, like the alien thing. You know, it's like
Yeah.
he wouldn't lie. Like these people are like so religious that they wouldn't lie. You know,
Yeah.
like well, yeah, the son visited the family or whatever after it happened and shit. Sorry, I totally cut you off. Just say
I
that.
can't even remember what I was saying.
Talking about.
I was just
Talking
like totally listening
You
and
said you
forgot I
had
was
a,
even
a
talking.
Sorry.
friend or someone that saw your
Oh,
grandma.
I saw my own
You saw
grandma.
Yeah,
your own
yeah.
grandma,
Yeah, that was a really fucked up story, actually. Okay, so the night before she died, I was at my old tattoo shop, and I was drawing a Grim Reaper holding a woman in his arms. It was a tattoo somebody wanted,
Yeah.
and kind of symbolic.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
anyway,
word.
that night my chair started shaking. The candle on my desk started to shake. And then I heard 2 loud knocks at the door that leads out to the hallway where the bathroom is. And then next door was the pet store. And so I go to the door, there's nobody there. And then she died at 6 a.m. the next day. But the weird thing was, a month and a half later, I was standing at the bus stop. And this was outside of my tattoo shop. And she would always bring up the name Eli, like she thought it was a funny name or something, right?
Yeah.
So my cousin called his son Elijah, or no, sorry, Elliot, after the Eli thing.
Yeah.
And then so anyway, I'm standing outside of the tattoo shop, and I just hear out of my ear, Eli, and I'm like, what the fuck? I got chills through my body. I took out my headphones, looked down, looked just like my grandmother, and she's like, a light? Wanted me to light a cigarette? Oh, I'm just getting chills right now.
Yeah.
And she died of like lung cancer, right? Like she would smoke constantly. I was like, she's like, I can't see very well, whatever. So I lit it for her, gave it back to her, freaked out. And then she just walked away laughing.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah, like I'm scared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she didn't look like a ghost. She just looked like
A regular self.
you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't scary. It was just like, what
Huh.
the fuck?
Yeah,
that's weird.
Nuts.
Very weird.
That's
Man,
it. Honestly, man, all this kind of shit scares me, man. Like,
You're so freaked out. Right
yeah,
now.
like
I can feel
ghosts,
it.
Yeah.
ghosts
He's
and
like-
aliens. Like even like doesn't even have to be ghosts and aliens. Just talking about like the universe and stuff. I'm just like,
oh man,
You know,
space and the
like-
universe fucking
Oh, man.
fascinates me. I
Yeah,
love that
it's-
shit.
oh yeah, and that's the thing is like
Mhm.
it's totally human of me, but the things that the things that I'm scared of are things that I don't understand or don't know for sure.
Absolutely.
You know what
the
I mean? Which is
unknown.
very the unknown, which is very human, right?
Yeah.
But then the other thing is that I'm so interested in the unknown, which is also like the
Definitely,
same, right? Like
yeah.
man, like I actually wanted at one point I was like, I'm gonna start a fucking ghost show. I'm gonna go around
Yeah.
and get all these things and be like whatever, because like I
Yeah.
saw one that I was like, I,
These
no,
sound effects.
yeah. But see, I saw one that was like literally, I'm like, I'm pretty sure these guys are just like, they're like, hey, like, can we just use your house for a bit? Like, just take the stuff out of here. You know what I mean? Like, there was just
Yeah.
like, it just
Just
seemed like a
pretend to be a
show.
ghost
Yeah,
for
like,
15
they're like, we
minutes.
got this thing, you know,
Get
and
someone
like,
to
they like
start knocking
never
on the wall.
found anything. And I was like, so the thing is, like, I either turn out like these guys and never find anything, or I actually stumble across something or whatever, you know, and like, shit my pants or whatever, right? But like,
That's
but
what's
I'm
the
like, the
worst that
thing
could
is
happen?
like, yeah, like I'm like, I want to go do this, and like, I
Yeah.
literally was like trying to get people to like, let's go and make this show, or like, let's contact people that can help us make this show. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of how
Face
I
your
do
fear,
it too.
man.
So
I have paranormal investigators on the show, but I don't want to do it because I don't want anything attaching itself to me.
Yeah.
You know what I
that's-
mean?
see, yeah,
No doubt.
yeah. But the thing, I don't know. Yeah.
But I'm not
You never
saying
even thought
to
about
not go
that.
after your dream.
Now
I
you just
think
put a
you
whole
should
nother
do it.
level on it.
Yeah. I think if you really want to do it, you should do it.
That, yeah.
But that's something that just terrifies me because I've lived in haunted houses before and like with demons and shit. And like, nope. Like my last landlords were Satanists. That place was fucked.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the kind of shit that's like,
I heard Satanists were like really nice people.
No, they were.
but
yeah?
you can't control that shit. You can't control that shit.
They're good at pretending. Yeah, I'm not saying all Satanists are bad people, but they were. So, yeah.
Can you pass me another cold one?
Oh, fuck.
when you get the chance.
He's busy.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
On one of these. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna fucking just put these down. Anybody else need a beer?
I guess I'll grab another one.
I mean,
Give the magic man a Rona.
A Rona?
I was gonna say a pint, but
C Rona.
yes, sir. Friday night, thank you, sir. So, yeah, well, you know, shout out everybody.
Yeah, shout out for anyone that's stuck to, this point.
Yeah,
fucking-
right.
Go
And I
deserve a
hope-
medal.
I hope you're not as scared as I am.
am. Go peep all of our episodes, you know. Happy birthday, Sin. Side Movement. Urban Room tonight. You'll see this tomorrow, so it'll be a bit late.
He's so sinister. Almost too sinister.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Woo. So I guess, we'll just get, we'll get Kanaska to close this out with a song
Some
for us.
songs, yeah, I'm down.
So we're at an hour and 20 now, so
Damn.
yeah,
Time flies.
time does
Yeah.
fly.
Alright, I'm really trying here.
Boys.
I'm really trying not
Oh.
to.
Your technique needs to change.
Does it?
Oh yeah.
Like, what do
So
I need to
this-
do here?
I just want to say something real quick.
You show me.
If any of you guys are into this spiritual
use the
stuff,
side and just fucking.
Um,
man. I see. I'll try that.
check
I'll
out
try that,
Rebels
just like
Compass.
this.
Yeah, Rebels
If
Compass.
you're down with
Shout
that,
out.
like
Yeah.
spiritual stuff and all that, what
Yeah.
we're talking about. I mean, sorry,
Good
not what
call.
we're talking about. It's a little different than what we're talking about, but it's very spiritual and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
very spiritual. They're into
So check that out.
the universe and energies.
Where
and
do you find that anyways?
chakras and
stuff.
Facebook,
It's up on
Just
Facebook, yeah, and YouTube actually.
Rebels Compass.
Rebels
Instagram.
Compass and Instagram, yeah, all Rebels
For all those
Compass
photos.
at Rebels Compass. Check that shit out.
Check that out.
Definitely.
You know,
I just figured that's what
and,
we're talking about. I mean, like we're talking about kind of, similar
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
we
that
brought up
makes
the
sense.
I don't know the name. Help me
Yeah.
out.
Oh, the
Like,
Organite thing.
Organite,
there?
yes,
Yeah.
thank
That's
you.
one of
Is
the
it an
guests that left
Organite?
that.
Is
Do
it-
you guys know?
I thought it was Organite.
Do you guys
Maybe I'm
know
wrong.
the thing? I forget what it's called, but it's like a kind of like black rock. But if it's thin enough, you can kind of see the light through it. And it's so my buddy told me that apparently it'll only break if it's supposed to be broken, and that it keeps things away from you. And so like I don't know if it's like things or just negative energy or whatever.
Huh,
But
okay.
he took it and he goes, if this breaks, this means that I'm supposed to give this to you. And he like tried to break it and the fucking thing broke. And he gave it to me or whatever. And I have it somewhere. But it's like a little shard. You might even know what it is. It's kind of like a glassy rock, sort of. And it's like
What did I miss?
you break it. It's like a glassy rock. It's like black. And if you hold if it's thin enough,
Is it hematite?
yeah, something like that. I was gonna say it's one of the eights or whatever.
You're going off this.
But
so
it's
I
like-
I might
assume
even be wrong. I don't even know if that is a rock.
But
I
it
think that's what it's.
I don't
you
know.
like
that- yeah.
I know
my
there's
buddy,
one, like
my
a
buddy
black
said
thing
that
that,
it'll
it
only
drips.
break if it's supposed to break.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's like, I'm gonna give you a piece of it, and he's like, if it breaks, then you're meant to have it.
Hmm.
And he like tried to break it, and the little shard broke off. So
You learn something new every day.
yeah,
That's cool.
Every
you
day.
do stuff.
All right, so
True.
are you rolling a joint there, Styles?
Oh yeah,
All right, so I guess we'll close up the show with a joint and a song.
You want to play
Sounds
some
good.
music?
Yeah, so
Yeah, for sure.
all
Let's
love fire.
the soothing sounds of Kanaska Carter.
Here we
I'm
go.
tripping over my words. here.
Okay, so
You
what
did
song am I gonna play?
Play us a
Just
couple.
one?
It's up
No,
to
it's
you.
up to
Go
Oh, you
to
can
your
play-
heart's
What
What are
content.
you
to you.
feeling? Yeah.
Okay.
We'll give you room.
Let's see here. Start with this one, I guess. One foot in front of the other, here I go. So certain away, so take me. In my heart, I know your love is beautiful. It is like the ocean breeze. When love and made out of me. Your love is beautiful. Puts my soul at ease. Baby. Oh, fucked it. I'm just stoned out of my mind. Okay.
That's what you
That's
get with
good, though.
fucking with us.
That was dope.
It's like magic to me. Trying to figure out how to say I love you. Not so easily done. So I write it out in songs. It's happened so strongly than you would true. Well, I will sit here waiting patiently like a statue. Your love is beautiful. Brings happiness to me. Oh, and this healing energy. Your love is beautiful. Exactly what I need. Baby, like magic to me. Hey, limited time, love is a kind, making the material that is idolized. I come from the sky, people we are, demons of a science cloud, tricked up our minds, angels of God, evil outright. Take on my fears, screaming out loud. What the fears does I dream about? Holding in my love, your love is beautiful. It is comforting to me. Oh, we make wonderful memories. Your love is beautiful. Waves amongst the sea, baby, like magic to me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Sorry, I'm so
Yeah.
high.
No, that's good. That actually
That
sounds
was
pretty
great.
fantastic.
Seriously, did you play that before? Like, no, sorry.
Earlier.
Like earlier? Yeah,
just a little
okay.
bit.
Because whenever you first started singing, I was like, yeah, this must have been one of the ones I listened to earlier, but
Well,
no, it's whatever you were playing earlier.
that was great.
Yeah,
Unreal.
that
Good
was
stuff.
really good.
What's up with that?
Sure.
You can't turn that down.
Might as
Might make
well.
for better music.
I did the same thing actually on the last podcast, and Trip wanted to hear our music, and fucking
You're like, no.
yeah, no,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
super stoned
We
and
did our
fucking
song.
super tired, and
It's been a long day, for sure.
Brando nailed his verse, and I got to my point, and fucking
I forget who it was, but someone commented on that. Not commented, but someone told me about it.
I just
yeah?
like
They were like, "Oh, Brandon's pretty good," and then they were like, they're like, "I can't really judge because he's just fucked up or whatever." And just didn't, because you didn't
Fuck,
do
he's
anything
better.
after that, eh?
I did another verse after that,
Like later?
but yeah,
Okay, yeah.
but yeah, it was
Like, fuck, if you think
happens to the best
if you
of us.
think
Yeah.
Brandon's good, you should fucking hear Ben.
Yeah. So good.
Alright, so we're going for another.
Fucking right,
You
yeah.
guys don't mind?
No,
No,
whatever.
absolutely.
Hey,
Cool.
seriously.
The floor is yours.
I actually want to pull up this song, but my laptop is kind of like.
Do what you do.
Even if you like maybe angled it this way,
No, it doesn't even
so it's not near.
Maybe I can do it without the fucking laptop. I'm gonna try to just go by memory.
Nice.
it's raw.
See if I can remember it. Buckle up your mind, come on now, let's all hit the road. Live it up on the grind, always you are in beast mode. But you know the answer's within you to become whatever you want. Had enough of these worldwide lies. Spreading love is the news that I've given up. Is not an option here anymore. Hey, how do you break yourself from that brainwashed lie? Telling us we need this tech to stay alive. Consuming by everything you read online. Going dead until you're standing in red line. Just because they want us all to pay. It's because they're taxing every way. It's because zombies make better slaves. Because those in power, they planned it all that way. It's because. It's because.
brainwash those into thinking they need cars, jewelry, and clothes. Do you know the answer's within you to become whatever you want? And enough of these worldwide lies. Spreading love is the news that flies. Giving up is not an option here anymore. Hey, how do you break yourself from that brainwashed lie? Telling us we need this tech to stay alive. Consuming by everything you read online. Going dead until you're standing in red lines. It's because they want us all to pay. It's because they're taxing everybody to think of. The music and our slaves. You know the within you is way. It's because.
Something like that.
Damn.
A little bit.
Yeah, round of applause for that one.
That was really
That had a
good.
dope rhythm to it. I really liked it.
I
Kind
gotta
of fucked up
say
the lyrics at the end, but it's whatever.
That's all
that
good.
that would
Zombies
actually
make better slaves.
that
I
would
think I said
actually
zombies
go
at one point.
really well with your "Want It All" song.
Yo, you caught that too. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's this song? Want It All?
So Ben has a song called "Want It All" and it's guitar. It's got a guitar.
I think it's got a guitar.
and it's about
Wanting it all.
fucking-
They want the clothes and the jewels and the diamond rings.
Mhm.
And like, yeah, you had a line very similar to that in that
Nice.
song.
yeah,
It
absolutely.
caught my attention right away.
Yeah.
Which I also have to say I really like that in your song.
Yeah,
I just
Yeah, we performed
have to say that
one
while we're
live,
talking
yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And I'm saying, fuck that.
yeah.
I think I've heard this before.
But I'm
Is it on
about
your YouTube?
No, it's actually
But I'm
pretty. I don't
about
think
that.
you've heard that.
I'm
It's pretty new.
about that.
About that.
No.
About that, man.
He's about
At the
that
same
life.
time, too, I get it, though.
What?
No, I was saying I'm about that.
Oh,
Yeah, the fancy
The
cars and the
jewels
jewels
and
and
shit.
the
Yeah, yeah.
diamonds and
They
shit.
got to him.
Yeah,
The reptilians got to him.
but at the same time, too, though, I get it. There comes a point when, like, that's not cool, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, when
it's behind. It's
when
the
you're
intent.
wearing a $1 million Cuban link fucking chain
Yeah.
with a kilo of fucking gold with a pendant that's like, fucking balling, man.
I mean that
You
that
know you made.
you can't
Yeah.
dispute that. I mean that's
Yeah.
that's,
That's how
I'm
you
talking
get
no
robbed.
diamonds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
that's facts.
Yeah.
But still, you
I think-
don't need that.
I think the
shit.
pendant was $1 million
No.
too.
That's how you get people
Talking
wanting to
$2 million
steal
on your
shit.
fucking neck,
And
man.
what I was gonna say is it's about your intent too. Like if you're
Mhm.
doing what you're doing just to get that shit, then you're doing it for the wrong reason.
No, for
Exactly.
sure,
But
yeah.
if you're doing
no.
it just because you love to do it and getting that shit is a
Wanna help
byproduct of
Yeah,
your
Mhm.
fucking hard work and dedication, then fucking flaunt your shit.
yeah.
But, like
You know,
Absolutely.
like to me, that's like, people going to buy a nice hat, you know?
I want
Like,
to bomb him
Yeah.
on my
fucking
house.
buy a nice chain.
You know,
but-
That's what's up.
I don't know. I
Fix,
don't
like,
have any
the
chains.
water
so-
on native
If my
reservations
mom-
and
if
shit.
I could fix my mom up,
Mhm.
fuck, I would be happy as
Man, fucking Mercules just
Exactly.
announced recently. Well, I recently, probably the last 3 months, but I use the word recently really loosely. But he announced that both his parents retired and they work for him now.
Yeah.
Nice.
And man, if I
Yeah.
was in the position to do something like that, to be able to, put my mom in a
Oh,
fucking good
man.
spot, I
Well,
fucking would just. I'd
And
be really well, I'm happy with my life, but that would be another level. I'd be like, fuck, man.
Man,
that's
goals,
Meek
right?
Mill-
You
I'm
just
a
gotta work
legend.
towards
Meek
that shit.
Mill says-
yeah,
Work towards
absolutely.
that.
That's what
You'll
I'm
get it.
trying. That's
Meek
what this
Mill
is all about.
says, I gave my mom like 10 G's or something. Or I gave my mom like 10 grand. He's like, I did that like 10,000 times or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
And I'm just
yeah.
like, holy fuck.
I like the
Yeah.
the
that'd
J.
be-
Cole
That's the
line
dream.
too, and I can't remember which song right now. It's probably the 1990. Am I saying that wrong? The last one on his KOD album, the
1985?
1985, where he's like something about your mama's house. I hope you make enough to buy a
Mama,
mama's
yeah,
or
yeah,
parents'
your mama house.
Oh,
yeah.
mama house or whatever. That line is. I don't know, man. That shit resonates.
What you make a
Yeah.
year? I spend that on my daughter's shoes.
Especially if you come from nothing.
Yeah,
You just want to
absolutely.
retire
That's-
your parents.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what it is.
Fuck yeah, man.
Hell
Especially
yeah.
too, because if you had nothing, man, you know that they grinded to make you like have nothing. You know what I mean? So like, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like that kind of contradicts itself in itself. But you know what I mean, though, right?
Yeah.
I would never
Clearly, they had to work fucking hard just for you to have that.
exactly.
you know,
I would
like-
never fucking be eating and living a luxury life if my fucking, if the one that created me and raised me ain't fucking doing the same thing. Like,
Yeah,
come
yeah,
on.
exactly, man. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. Show
But he-
respect to the moms out
Yeah.
there.
I mean, and dads too. I'm just speaking my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have.
It was my mom's
Yeah.
birthday yesterday, actually.
I saw your post, man.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
That made my heart warm.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah. Shout out, mom.
Shout out, mom.
Happy birthday, Styles, the prophet's mom.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Gang, gang.
All right, let's get into another one.
All right, cool. Let's do it. Let's see if I can. What do I want to do? Yeah, I'll do this one. Praying for love. Searching this room, a perfect soul for me. The universe gave a shove. You're a shining star that does it quietly. Baby, you don't have to say a word. I could tell just by feeling your energy and my loneliness you cured. Silent wisdom, honey, you're like the trees. Well, I now know this is real. And I now know this is how it's all supposed to feel. I now know this is real. And I now know this is how it's all supposed to feel. Began to feel like giving up. I grabbed your hand for hours, I'm scared to see. Panicking and feeling stuck. This vertigo starting to grab a hold of me. Baby, you don't have to say a word. I can tell just by looking into your eyes. You see my happiness return. A silent wisdom, honey, you're like the trees. I now know this is real, and I now know this is how it's all supposed to feel. I now know this is real, and I now know this is how it's all supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Right.
I really like that
Damn.
one, man.
Thanks, man.
That took us out on a nice.
That was great.
That was good. That was good stuff.
That was really great.
Thanks, man.
Fantastic artist.
Thank you, Kanaska.
Yeah,
sure.
thanks for coming out.
Especially,
For
like,
sure.
live,
Thanks
you
for
know?
having me.
This has been a great first for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and
Absolutely having
I
you here.
really enjoyed that conversation. That was good, and it wasn't
Awesome.
your standard it wasn't your standard
4G audio
4G, yeah.
experience.
and that was good. I mean, last week we touched on some weird shit, but
we elaborated.
This one, this
Yeah,
one
we
really
certainly
opened
did.
things up. Yeah.
I hope you're
Um,
happy, Trip.
Yeah, yeah.
We did you
Gang,
proud,
gang.
bro. We did you proud.
Anyways, spaghetti gang, swag gang, all the gang shit. You already know what it is. Shout out Kanaska Carter.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks
This
for
was
coming out.
next level.
Absolutely great shit.
Bang. We out here.
You know what it is. All right, get out of here.
Yeah.
Peace out,
Either-
Enjoy
y'all.
your Saturday.
Either get out of here or fucking kick us out of your house or whatever.
Yeah,
Click that fucking
throw your computer at the wall.
Thing.
I don't know.
whatever. You
Just
know,
let
the
it
stuff.
stop already. Come
Subscribe.
All right.
on.
Gang.
Hit that button.
We're done now.
4G Basement Weirdos.
He's like,
Peace.
guys, we stopped filming like 5 hours ago.
Yeah, it's over.